It's time for the type of energy only Darren McCarty and Neil Rule can give. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, what's going on, buddy? Welcome back to another episode of Big D and
Big D! Taco Tuesday, baby!
That's right, rest in peace Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, all of it. My name is Neil Rule, that guy, D-Mac, Darren McCarty. In the building, we have Chase in the Chase Lounge as well. Chase, what's up?
Not much, just hanging out another day. We're excited for Fast and Loose to drop this afternoon. We had a special guest on, so excited for that. Yeah, all-star race and an all-star level guest. So
Fast and Loose will be making an appearance at the Detroit Grand Prix as well. They'll be out there, so that's kind of cool.
They get after it early around here.
They absolutely
When's
do.
that playing?
It should be up by 1 o'clock. It might be a little bit
cool,
delayed,
man.
but
I'll have to check
hopefully,
it out.
yeah.
You're not. I mean, it's not my lane, but it's your lane.
Yeah, it is. So I want to see
fast
who they
lane.
got on.
The fast lane. There you go. Hey.
I thought you meant the loose lane.
Yes, absolutely. Spencer Raxter in the building.
Speaking of loose,
Hello.
And fast.
Fast, feeling loose.
what's going on?
Shout out to
Spenny?
the massage chair.
Yeah, shout out to Massage Chair. Not that I had a good weekend. Went and looked at a house that I'm going to be moving into, so very excited
Well,
about
so you
that.
didn't just look at it. You
No.
actually went in it.
I went in it. Went
cool.
in it, and so they just got to replace something in the basement. Like they got to change out the big wash tub, and then I'll be moving into there.
When's that date? So I can make sure that I'm on the golf course. Or something.
Probably this month, sometime this month. So I'm probably going to move in next month.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I'm
That is
excited.
the one thing about like working every day that's great. I don't have time to help you move, Spenny. Sorry.
Yeah, it's
I'm
okay.
busy that day.
It was already it's fully furnished, so I don't got to move much. Just my clothes,
Oh,
my
you sure?
computer, and stuff like that.
Well,
So
I am open on Saturday.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
help out.
Can I bring over the Victory Bourbon?
yeah, the Victory Bourbon for sure. I'm excited. Yeah, it's in Royal Oak, so
Welcome.
yeah,
Shout out.
nice little spot. I'm excited. Big yard, big backyard, a lot of grilling ability, grilling and chilling. So yeah, I like it a lot.
Jump into the Woodward Sports chat, by the way, like Joseph Herrick. Just started a new job today, still rocking here with the Big D Energy, though. Well, the job may change, but the routine stays the same, big bro.
Spenny, text me the address. I want to see how close it is to mine.
Yeah, I got you.
Just a second.
But yeah, RJ Graham in the chat as well. Good morning, Detroit. So yes, get in there and get your thoughts out there and everything with it. But I had a question, D-Mac, about.
I questioned you too, but go ahead.
Oh no, I want to hear yours first.
Well, I know you probably covered it yesterday, but
Yes.
Toronto again, on brand. Now, but I was thinking about you,
Okay.
right? And I was wondering if the analogy of you hooked up over your head with a hot chick, and it was like cool, good, but it was like, was it anticlimactic because you wanted to waste the Toronto? Like, did you get
Yeah,
let off, or
I
did you
know
get the
exactly where you're going.
satisfaction from their loss?
D-Mac, it was. That's a great question, by the way.
Is it a good
because,
analogy?
Because I actually, yeah, 100%. Because I guess in the end, I wanted heartbreak. Like I wanted the overtime loss. But in the end, that was pretty good too. Because all I wanted was the crowd shots of their despondent fans. And we played the videos yesterday of fans like leaving Maple Leaf Square, whatever it is. I think I like that more than the ultimate heartbreak. I think in the end, I think that I was misguided. That I wanted them to lose in overtime or whatever. That was what I wanted.
Dude,
6-1, no doubt, fans revolting, all of it.
the biggest question is that they had 2 home games they laid eggs in, right, at home in the 2 most important, Game 5 and Game 7. They played their ass off in Game 6, but to be able to do that in front of their fans. And then, am I hearing this right? It's the fans' fault? Too much pressure?
Too much pressure.
Get the fuck out of here.
You know what,
The only way out's through. I mean, it reminds me that, like, this is the same stuff, except it's been going on a lot longer, but, like, 42 years for us. I lived it.
You lived it.
There's no excuse.
And I think we may have talked about this before, but maybe not. And I'm glad that we're going down this road, because is that legit? Because I always felt like through your guys' run, and as I've gotten into professional sports and, like, working in professional sports, I prefer road games. From a preparation standpoint, from dealing with shit standpoint, you don't have to handle tickets or any of that stuff, dude. Like, when you're on the road, it is a routine. You've talked about it before. I get up, I go to the skate, I get my nap, I watch a soap opera or whatever.
Yeah, Days of Our Lives. Shout out Billy and Hope.
You know what I'm saying? Is it easier playing on the road than it is playing at home in a big game like that?
So and we've had some devastating loss. Game 7 at home against Pittsburgh and stuff in the finals, like, was the worst. But here's the difference, right? Because yes, for a lot of times when you can focus, and I think it's more of, like, the teams all together. Whereas at home, you have to learn how to encapsulate that, right? I remember the greatest, there's only one time I've ever felt, right, like, going to the rink that, like, it was a done deal, and that was Game 4 of the 97 finals, just after we beat Philly 6-0 the game before, right? But we all felt that way. You could say, without saying it, but it's that quiet confidence. And I think that's where the leadership are stepping it up, and how do you lay an egg at home, twice? So there's sort of a psychological miss there. But again, you have to give Florida credit. Florida is the defending Stanley Cup champion that won in Game 7 at home last year. They go on the road. When you become a veteran team like that and you've won, you don't fear the road. You embrace the road more than maybe a younger team. So I think it's easier because you're together more. And your focus is, but again, Neil, at the end of the day, I just think those are excuses. You're a professional. You got to figure out what you need to do. So a lot of times at home, right? You treat it like in the playoffs. We treated it like you were on the road. We go to the hotel the night before. Right. We do our pregame, like, so, and it wasn't mandatory, but there was probably 8 or 10 of us that did. And that was just our routine, and you got into that. So different people, it makes it tick. But
well, what about it, D-Mac? Because you guys live this too, where, as I've said, like, I didn't think you guys were going to get it done after the loss in '95, and then obviously in '96 as well. You tell me, you're eminently qualified to speak on this. Because I did feel that way games at Joe Louis Arena when the expectations were that you guys were going to win the Stanley Cup. It wasn't when, it was when. And just because I feel like you could feel that pressure in the building.
Yes, but as a fan base, you also have to put the faith in it like the players do, that they're going to take care of your job. Do you have the makeup, right? And that's what we're coming to here with our Red Wing team. That's not even a playoff team, but do they have the makeup and the structure, right, where you see that? And that's always been the question for Toronto, right? Is the Matthews, Nylander, Marner, right? Is that Tavares combination, does it work? Morgan Riley on defense and stuff like that. What hurt Toronto, no matter what to say, is their goalie going down early.
Yeah.
Right? But you need saves, and that's just a fact, but that happens. So maybe this is more adversity. I'm a firm believer that in life, like, there's no such thing as rock bottom. You just keep going and digging, and they got to find a way. This is the ultimate, where we were at, the only way out is through. And it's up to them to put the combination together, right? Because they were close. It's just at the worst time. They played 2 worst games at home.
Right.
It's not just one, because if they play one of them better, they're moving on. So, so my question, or my focus is out there. Who would you rather be? A Maple Leaf fan or a Red Wing fan right now? No. So, you're not, what I'm trying to say to all Red Wing fans out there is you're not in that bad of shape, right? Because the next level is there. What's that?
Shout out Peaceful Tim for a gifted sub in the chat.
Yeah. So the next level, right, Neil, is being a Toronto, being in Edmonton. So I'm just trying to prepare people for that.
I've thought
that's
about
devastation. Because does that not relinquish the fact that they may never win?
I think for me, D-Man, and this is a great segue conversation, because I honestly think that right now, I think that I would rather be the Toronto Maple Leafs, because I know I have the talent. I know that I have Austin Matthews. And like, look, this is subject to change when you see what happens in the offseason.
You answer my question saying, yes, Toronto has the talent to get over the finish line. I don't believe they do, that combination. I never did. I've always said that, right? Whatever that combination is. And I'm not saying that. I'm saying their core guys, right, remind me of the St. Louis's and the Phoenixes and, the Kachuk, Roenick's, Talkett's, they're good. They're really good. Like Winnipeg, same thing, right? Is that core? So I disagree with you. I'd rather be Detroit because I know when I'm watching this core that's being built here, right? I like this core that's being built. That Marco Kasper, that's a dog, bro.
Yeah, it is.
That Simon Edvinsson. I just do not believe in Toronto's makeup when push comes to shove, and and they showed that by laying eggs at home in games 5 and 7 in the most critical time. Like, you're allowed to make that one mistake in game 5. You go out in game 6 and you play your best game.
And that's why. The game 6 is why. Because they choked the Panthers out that game. They did.
So you haven't learned
cool
how
story,
to,
bro.
Yeah,
cool story.
Bro.
It didn't help.
Cool story, bro. It's 4-7.
No, it is.
And you got to answer your original question about playing on the road. Is it easy? You got to be absolutely as comfortable or more comfortable playing on the road in the playoffs.
Yeah, I do. I like road games more than I like home games because
because the buffet at lunch is phenomenal.
It's
and then after the game, it's disgustingly sick. And I'm talking 20, 25 years ago. So imagine what it is now.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's incredible.
Oh my God.
D-Mac, it's incredible.
I believe.
Yeah.
I'm like this, looking in.
Yeah. No, it is absolutely incredible. But no, it's just, and again, I don't want to be overly granular about it and go, okay, Austin Matthews or Dylan Larkin.
No, that's
Austin
not
Matthews.
even the that's not even the
Mitch
question.
Marner or whoever's next.
Yeah.
No, that's
like,
the question is like, and I said this to somebody like the fact that Toronto going out, does that mean there's going to be somebody available? Now, like Mitch Marner, right? The question is, do you think he can get out? Does he need? I think he needs a change of scenery. Is this a great destination point? Do you think you're 1 and 2 being Marner and Larkin you can win with?
Yeah.
Shout out Peaceful Tim for 5 gifted subs in the chat.
There you go, Peaceful Tim.
The GOAT.
Doing
One
it
of
up
them's
there.
a BLT.
Danny G,
Nice.
the Pistons showed sometimes road games are easier to get motivated for. It's Danny G, it's not that for real. Like, no BS, man. You don't have to deal with everything that you have to deal with at home. You just don't. You don't have to deal with tickets. You don't have to deal with, and this is going to sound awful, but it's true. You don't have to sound with, like, getting the kids to school. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't deal with all that stuff. It's literally just the game. Whatever your routine is, mine is get up, work out, eat lunch, hang out for a little bit, get on the first bus over to the game, go to the game. Like that's
everybody's got their routine.
got their own little thing that they do.
Yeah.
I go up there, I see the spot I'm at, and then we go forward for it on there. But yes, it is. Skydog 722. No, I should say Toronto is more like the Caps, Blues, or Kings. The away fan. Here's the issue with the core 4. They're all forwards. They need a Zetterberg, Datsuk, Lidstrom, and Osgood.
They got Morgan Riley as their guy, but when I see people putting this in, you're always including a goaltender, and that's what Toronto. Like, you think that you're in the same position as Toronto's been in, trying to find that guy to get them over the hump. So maybe this amplifies, Neil, the fact of how hard it is to get that goaltender in this league.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll take the first break. When we come back, I want to talk about this PFF top 25, under 25
Gross.
thing, but for different reasons than you guys do. But we'll get there. There is one thing in stone about it that I'm definitely on board with, and there's another thing I'm not on board with. And I know, and guys, I already know how this is going to go. You know how it's going to go, Spenny. Chase may or may not know how it's going to. You know where we're going to end up on this, right? You end up being someone who's not even on the list.
Yep.
Okay, so we're all comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Are you guys comfortable with it?
Wait, someone who's not on the list?
Yeah, someone who's not on the list.
He talks about him all the time. He talks about how electric this guy is with the ball in his hand.
Yeah,
Spenny.
You know how it's going to devolve into that, and it will. I'm going to fight the good fight, though. For the first 6-7 minutes of the segment, I'm going to fight to keep it on track. I'll fail, but I'm going to fight to keep it on track.
Give it the college try.
Yeah, I'll give it a try. And you know what you should do? Give a try tonight? Buddy's Pizza for dinner. Yeah, absolutely you should. There's over 20 Buddy's Pizzas around the Metro Detroit area, downtown as well. Don't forget about the one on Broadway across the street from Comerica Park. D-Mac was down there smashing pizza for the NFL
Smashing
draft
buddies and watching T-Scoobs just rake up the K's?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That's what you can do. So if you're going to a game, slide over there first before get your pregame on over there. But as far as tonight goes, go to buddypizzas.com. Use the 10% off coupon. Just use a promo code 10meal. And boom, dinner's saved for you. It's done for you, and you're going to save 10%. They invented Detroit-style pizza. They're the OGs in the Detroit-style pizza game. Great partnerships with local Detroit organizations as well. Buddy's Pizza, man, the original Detroit-style pizza since 1946. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
D-Mac here to talk to you about Mad Packs. Mad Packs is the hottest new cannabis brand, and they are partnering with Woodward Sports. Products launching on May 30th, 2025. That's the few weeks away. They're going to take you to the next level, high-low. Getting you high for the low, delivering top-tier quality at unbeatable prices. Boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka. Live resin infused tarantula. That's with the keef on the outside.
Oh, yeah.
This one's the bomb. Blizzard packs, THCA. Bless you.
Bless
Moon
you.
Rocks.
Thank
Hit
you.
like a blizzard. Coming to select retailers on May 30th, 2025. Stay tuned with Woodward Sports Network for all the latest updates.
All right, we are off and running. Big D Energy on a rest in peace Tuesday. Neil Rule, Darren McCarty here with you. Chase, Spencer, Raxter, everybody in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Get into there. Get your thoughts out there. And this story that just exploded throughout the football world, especially here in Detroit. The Pro Football Focus, they ranked the top 25 players under the age of 25. At the time...
Thanks, Mike G.
At the time that the 2025 season starts, by the way. So what, Aiden Hutchinson misses it by like a month or something like that?
He'll be 25 by the time the season
Yeah,
starts.
so that's what it is. So save the Aiden Hutchinson didn't make it stuff, all right? We're past all that. But D-Mac, to no one's surprise, Penei Sewell, number one. And I'll tell you where I was surprised, and I'm talking about like the national angle. I was surprised to see Puka Nacua second and Jaden Daniels all the way down at fourth. I was surprised to see that, given the nature of the position and the promise he has in front of him and stuff like that. Kyle Hamilton's elite, no doubt about it. He's gotten paid. Trent McDuffie, and these guys are all good players. Jared Verse, by the way, on the Rams, he's getting a lot of love.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
it is. But whatever, man. I'm not here to like sit there and break things down and just like nitpick over things. But the main thing, the main takeaway to this, D-Mac, Penei Sewell, number one. To me, the most important player in football, the man that changed not only on the field here, but I think changed a lot of the stuff off the field here in Detroit. When Penei showed up, that was the announcement to everyone that you ain't punking us no more.
You know what it is about Penei Sewell, and the more you sit back and think, he is the on-field persona and exuberance of what Dan Campbell's message is. Right, so it's like having his intensity and the way that he leads, and obviously being the best athlete on this team. Do we agree? Who's better? Would you say he's a better athlete than Aiden?
Yeah, it's him, Gibbs, JMO.
The guys all say that.
No, like they all say right, and we've seen at different plays him go out, catch passes, him being that integral part. But to me, it's that, and I know how young he is, but. Does this make sense? He's got this father presence.
Oh, yeah.
He's got this old man.
He's the alpha.
He's got old man strength, alpha for sure.
He's got old man strength. He's still like 22 or something like that.
Yeah, he's 24.
Right, but it's
got kids.
It's Dan Campbell's intensity and his message. If you look for a player on the field who exuberates that the most, right? You may go to Jack Campbell and stuff like this, but I think it's Penei Sewell. And it's the leadership, because he is wise beyond his years, right? He's like, as far as like almost to me, he's like the father figure. And I know Frank and Taylor are there too, but it's just that leadership and that presence where they may be more of the talkers, but it's his presence on the field, and especially with the other teams.
Yeah, and also too, with him. On this list, there is nobody on this list that fits the description of what you just talked. Like, look at the names you just talked about, like Frank Ragnow, Pro Bowl, one of the best centers in the league, long time, like on the back end of his career. Locker room respects him. Man's willing to like lose a toe to play the game. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a football dude, right? He says that. He's like, this dude's a leader at 24 years old. All these other names, while great players on this list, they all are. They're not Penei Sewell. And I'm glad that you brought that up, D-Mac, because to me, that's what sets him apart from everyone on this list. He walks in the door at 22, at 24. He's the undisputed leader of this locker room, and it's not a doubt. Yeah, you can ask people. They'll tell you.
Who's the alpha lion? Who's the throne? Who sits on that throne? And that would be and it's the way he leads. He leads by example, right? And I know he's verbal and stuff like that when you hear him, but it's out there is he's gonna pull you in, and it's work, right? There's never not working, and that's why it's a great leader. That's why, and so it was like coming into the Detroit Red Wings, right? I always say the best part about the Red Wings, what made it so good, is that the best players work the hardest. So off the ice and stuff like this in the gym. I mean, you'd see Nick Lidstrom, Steve Yzerman in there, drapes, stuff like that. All you got to do is follow them in. It shows you, how to be a professional and stuff like that. And Peaceful Tim says it right. Yes, we are watching a generational talent. Generational talent right here in front of us.
100%, and that's so. Again, just going off, because I know where we're going to end up with
one more thing.
Yeah,
but the clarity to the league, right, and everything that's muddled or whatever. But there's just sometimes in sports there's just certainties that everybody looks, sees, smells, tastes, whatever. Like whatever you put into this list, that's just the facts, right? Nobody's going to argue. There's no argue. There's argue the rest of them. Right, I put Jaden Daniels up there. Puka Nacua, he's good, but he's injured and stuff. You know what I mean? There's arguments.
You can get in the weeds if you want.
Right.
Yeah.
And even to a Jaden Daniels, right, who you got to say, right, probably has leadership abilities in the way that he's done that.
Oh, yeah.
And probably can get to where Penei Sewell is, but Penei Sewell is just so far above. We talk about athletes in sports, in their sport, being this much better than other athletes. We were talking before the show about Scotty Scheffler, winning with his D game. Right. Or his C, I'd say his C game. It was D early C.
Yeah.
But like like the only guy that can compete with them if their A game's on is like Rory and stuff like that. But it's so different, and that's what makes the generational talents generational.
Woodward Sports chat thread, get your thoughts in there. Danny G. Sewell could be a top 3 player in the NFL altogether, and you guys know my stance on it. Like, he's the best Detroit Lion player.
The best, like, forget what any writer says, but listen to the coaches or listen to the players. Listen to the players and how they talk about not only his team, but the guys he plays against. Listen to the defensive line and talk about why.
D-Mac, here's the best thing that I can give, and I've made this point before.
I just saw this, John F. and Lord, Sewell gold jacket incoming. No. What Neil gave him his gold jacket. I just wonder
2 years ago.
How far along is it?
Well, D-Mac, I don't know if the Hall of Fame committee listened to me or not. I said this because, especially with the tariffs and everything like that,
no.
I gave them an opportunity to stay out in front of cost, and they could have saved a ton of money and just started making his jacket, or at least order the material for it at yesterday's prices. But as our good friend Joik Bell used to say, yesterday's prices are not today's prices. So, but D-Mac, here's the best thing that I can say about Penei Sewell. I know how he made me feel as a fan. And when the organization turned over and the coach and the GM turned over, and we were all going, I mean, like, look, you could have been excited about it, and you could have thought a certain type of way about it, but make no mistake, unilaterally, 100% of us in the back of our mind said, here we go again, right? And why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we feel that way? Because look at how it had been for our entire lives. You want to know who changed me first? Penei Sewell changed me first. And how did he do that? I'll never not go back to this. Game number 1 against San Francisco, and Nick Bosa's on his bullshit or whatever, and Penei Sewell squares up with him and says, "No more."
No more. After spending the entire offseason at right tackle, and then Taylor Decker going down in his first start, he has to switch back to left tackle and go up against Nick Bosa. Yeah. And
Bosa tries to run some rookie shit on him, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And he says, nah, bro.
No.
Like, this isn't it. And then later on that first season, they go out to L.A., and Aaron Donald tries the same stuff.
One of the scariest dudes in the history of the NFL.
Penei doesn't care.
No.
And Spenny, I'm not saying this for effect. I'm not being a showman here. You guys know, because we were doing the show.
Yeah.
I said, that is the guy that's going to change shit around here.
Mm-hmm.
That is the guy that's going to come here and say, look, you ain't stealing on us.
Yeah.
No more.
Hey, I'm going to give him the ones. That's my tribal chief right there.
1,000,000%.
That's my real tribal
That's
chief.
the dude that
Take
I'll
a
follow
back
right
seat,
there.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Because Penei Sewell did the jailhouse thing. Go find the toughest guy in there.
And punch him in the mouth.
Punch him right in the mouth,
Yep.
and see how everybody falls in line.
Penei Sewell's a combination of Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu.
There we go.
Yeah, the Samoan werewolf.
Yeah. Peaceful Tim, Sewell can be Ogden or Baselli. It's up to the team around him. No, and I would say it even doesn't. Like, Penei's on his own thing.
Yeah, he's on an unhampered path for
he's undervalued in this town still. But I don't blame the fans. It's the nature of the position.
Yeah.
Would you say he's like Joe Thomas when he was with the Browns?
100%.
But he has a chance to actually win, like, here in Detroit. Like,
100%.
He's Joe Thomas with a team around him.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Yes, Mike G. Penei looking Donald look like Aaron Donald look like a little kid. That moment got me. Mike G. The Bosa thing and then the Donald thing and D-Mac, you know me.
And then
I don't get into
and then
that
the
stuff.
Parsons thing.
Well, I mean, just the pure domination.
That's what I'm saying. And
where'd he put him, Spenny?
Take care of everybody.
Put him in a bread box.
Put him in a bread box against his will. No, but D-Mac, and you know me, like, I don't get into that stuff the way everybody else does. Like, when we talk Red Wings, and it's apples to oranges to some degree, but, like, I don't get into did you see the fight? That was an awesome fight. Well, you know, they keep track of goals. Like, that's how they win. You know me. Like, give me my guy that can go score some goals, because that's how you win games. In football, it's kind of the same deal, but it is a toughness. You know, it is a toughness game. But I'm talking about the impact he had on a team, on an organization, and me as part of a fan base. Like a fan base, I knew things were different exactly at that moment. So yeah, rightfully so. Top 5 under 25. I'd argue top 5 in the NFL any age. Any age.
Oh, facts.
You know, you'll take the quarterbacks out of it or whatever, but I would argue that any age. All right, there's another angle I want to get to on the other side of this that we'll talk about after we talk about Lady Jane.
Absolutely, guys. Let's be honest. We like simple stuff like gimmies on the golf course. We like uncomplicated like Lady Jane's. Haircuts for men. You walk in, you sign in. Before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Lady Jane's open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Why? It's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Hey, Tony, what's up, bro?
Same circus, different clowns.
For sure. You want the usual, the big zip?
You know me too well.
I threw a little something extra in there for your ma.
Oh,
Hope
man.
she's doing all right.
Ay, guy, sei un santo.
Ah.
You're a saint.
All right, buddy, we'll see you next time, okay?
Grazie.
If you're looking to buy or sell your home, Mark White should be your first choice. You can save up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Just visit him at markwhitesells.com or give him a call at 248-290-8242. Mark White will put you in your dream home today.
All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, off and running. Neil Rule, Darren McCarty. We have Chase in the Chase Lounge. We have Spencer here in the building. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. And we're talking Pro Football Focus, ranking the top 25 players under 25. I just wanted to do the house cleaning Sewell thing and just reiterate that he's the dude to me. He's the dude that changed this. And I know that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell and Amon-Ra St. Brown and everybody get a ton of credit for it, and rightfully so. But to me, man, Sewell's the bourbon in the old fashioned. It's not an old fashioned if there ain't no bourbon in it.
Yeah.
So, he's the main ingredient to all of this. Woodward Sports chat thread, Pete Smith. My favorite Aaron Donald story is Urban Meyer having no idea who he was and asking him if he was any good. IT Hips. Penei Sewell will go down as the greatest Lion ever if they win a Super Bowl. I mean, IT Hips, I still would say that Barry Sanders would be the best Lion ever.
I don't think so. I think when it's all said and done, Penei Sewell is going to be the best Lion of all time.
Better than Barry?
But it's nature,
Better than Barry.
And the reason I say that too, it's nature of the positioning.
Yeah.
You know
I think
what I'm
when he's first team All Pro for
a decade,
10 years in a row, and he wins
that
and he has the
would be
Super Bowl.
stupid.
I don't see him slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah, I do reserve the right to revisit that.
That's fair.
Is that fair?
That is very fair.
I'll put that.
Still
caveat
very
on.
early in his career.
Correct. All right. Some of the other things here from the top 25 under 25. What Lions have? 5 of them?
Yep.
So 25% are 20% of the entire list. And, some of the names, again, I'm not going to get too granular about it, where they are, where they should be, where they shouldn't be, stuff like that. I was surprised to see Sam Laporta on there.
Yeah.
Were you?
Not
Mildly?
really. I mean, not really. He was an All-Pro his rookie year. It's not like he had a bad year last year. He was still a very good tight end in the league. I'd say Sam Laporta right now is a top 5 tight end in the NFL. So I'm not too surprised to see him on there.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
No, not at all. And it goes to respect, right? And seeing what he does. So, no, definitely not surprised.
It is wild that a second-year tight end with a 60-catch season with 7 touchdowns, and he's got to, quote, answer questions, next year. But, I mean, that's the space you're at. When you're in a Super Bowl window, when you're in a Super Bowl or bust setup, which the Lions are, make no mistake, Those are the questions that get asked. So, with that being said, and look, Jason Kenyon in the Super Chat, the man amongst boys, Sewell quote, took doubles, knocked him around, pulled right and left, kicked another one or two down as well. No, incredibly elite. For me, and look, let's just get into it then. And maybe I'm fighting uphill on this. Maybe I am. I don't know. But if you were going to give me my choice between Jamison Williams and Drake London, there's no debate. No debate. Zero debate. Of who I would rather have? None. Zero. I don't think it's close, Benny. I don't. I heard some people, around town saying Drake London's clearly better than Jamison Williams. I don't see it that way, man.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's not close. Like, Drake London had an amazing season last year. He had over 1,200 yards, I think 9 or 10 touchdowns and 100 receptions.
Did he do it on under 60 catches?
No, I mean, they're different types of players. I think Drake London's going to blow up even more next year. But I think Jameson Williams will too. So I'm not mad at people saying they'd rather have Drake London over Jameson Williams or the other way around. I think they're very comparable at skill level right now.
Woodward Sports chat thread, get into there. Mike G, a healthy Sam Laporta is deadly, man. Look out. No, I agree.
Yeah.
100% I agree. He just never felt like he got... Did he ever feel fully healthy last year? Like, watching him... I never got that vibe. Like, I never felt like he was, like, fully healthy. And the offense suffered because of it from time to time. Just... in that tight end role. Now, was that Jamison Williams? Was that the Jamison Williams effect? Was he the beneficiary of it? I don't know. He seems to be, though. Woodward Sports chat thread. Peaceful Tim Berry filled the Silverdome. That place held a few cities in it. No, he certainly did. Big Con 51, I'm with you, Neil. Drake London has shown what he can do. J-Mo hasn't even scratched the surface. So, D-Mac, let's have the talk then, because it's where it's going to go. Jamison Williams, when I tell you the receivers that were on this list, and, obviously we discussed Puka Nacua, and Puka Nacua is very, very good, man. There is no doubt about it. Questions about the health, things like that. Drake London's on the list.
Malik Neighbors
was on the
Brian
list.
Brian Thomas Jr.
And I know that's going to be like the fantasy catchy name that everyone's going to go to with Brian Thomas Jr. I get that. All I know, D-Mac, when J-Mo gets a rock in his hands, I know what I see.
No, I mean, that's it. And what are you looking for? Right? There's arguments if you want a possession guy or somebody, but if you want a burner with speed that I've been told, Neil, he's going to have another breakout year, right? Just to add on to it. I'm so excited. And it's something because he brings something that the rest of them can't, and that's that speed. And we've seen it in the biggest games. So I'm excited, just want him, stay healthy and stuff like that. But no, I watched him the most out of all those guys and ready to run it back. Because he's elite. It's going to be interesting to see how he's used even more, right? Because I think that was maybe some of the complaint is that didn't use him enough. Because when they used him, he gets in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in that
about every 8 times.
Yeah, right?
About every 8 times.
That's pretty good, though, right? Is that good?
Yes.
Yeah. You think?
That's very good.
Jesus.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Brad's Burner. To get your comment read, start with I agree 100% with Neil. Brad's Burner, I read your comments all the time. You've never started a comment with that. I keep score down here. I mark that down when somebody does that. Terrell FL, but these guys get paid to talk. They'll say goofy-ish sometimes, do it intentionally to create some controversy. That's not me.
It's not Terrell. What I do.
Yeah, it's not what I do, man. Maybe to my detriment. I don't know. I sit here and tell you what I think, man. That's it. Taylor Frazee, Laporta's touchdown against the Commanders was nasty.
That was nasty.
Yes. Funny Boy Roddy, J-Mo had -4 receivers yards against the Vikings secondary, LMFAO. Right, and he was only what? 52 yards behind everybody's hero, Justin Jefferson, that game, right?
Yep.
Weird. So you tell me then, funny boy Roddy, you tell me, why don't you like Jameson Williams? Can we drill down on that? Why?
Well, he's a Bears fan, I think, or a Vikings. I know he's not a Lions fan. I'm pretty sure he's a Vikings fan.
So then you know about disappointing receiver appearances then, intimately. Remember that time? Your guy Jordan Addison and I had the same amount of receiving yards in the biggest game of the season? I do. We both put up 0 yards that day. The thing was, I wasn't in uniform and in the stadium. Jordan Addison was. And he caught a pass. Remember that? I do as well.
For the narrative, I forgot.
Paper Chungus in the chat. You see, now we're drilling down on the things. Laporta ain't worth a big contract. Trade and draft another tight end.
I've said before, if somebody gets the odd man out, it would probably be Laporta.
Who do you think the odd man out will be, D-Mac? J-Mo, Laporta. You put Branch in that group. Basically anyone that's not signed.
Well,
Branch, J-Mo, Laporta.
Gibbs.
What about
Gibbs?
What about Monty? I say Monty could be the one that ends up going.
Well, I don't know. He's not one of the core. I love David Montgomery, but I'm looking at these core guys that are all pro caliber. Like Monty's kind of a secondary contract.
So Branch, Gibbs, Laporta,
J-Mo.
Who's the odd man out?
Because Hutch is getting done. We know that.
Yes. And rightfully so.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think Branch is the odd man out.
I don't know. I just see.
It depends on.
And I hate doing this because
He
it
can play
kind of
multiple
feels like I'm
You're
shitting on
devaluing,
somebody or like, and that's not what it is. I love all these guys. I'd love them to all get signed, but I think it's easier to replace Sam Laporta than it is Brian Branch or Jameson Williams.
Yes. Funny boy Roddy in the super chat. As a Vikings fan, you all will not smoke us this upcoming season. We got Skywalking McCarthy back. Okay.
Back. He's never played.
The name changes every year.
Yeah.
Every year the name changes, but you aren't going to beat us this year. I know, Vikings fans. I know. Sorry, D-Mac, what were you going to say?
No, so the same thing, the value of Laporta on the offense is like Branch on the defense.
Yeah.
Just it goes unnoticed how good of a blocking tight end, but also passing tight end in this league. So it's one of those conversations that you don't want to have, but you got to be comfortable having because that means that you've drafted guys that are good.
Yep.
So we'll see. I trust in Brad Holmes, so it's for him to figure it out.
Mike G, rest in peace, Shanny in Toronto. Sorry, number 14.
President, I mean, it starts at the top, right?
Do you think that could be in play?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
You keep running it. No, because he's making them hand over fist.
Okay.
Like money. At the end of the day, Shanny's job, right, is to make.
Sell hope.
No, not just with that, but with Maple is to make money.
Yeah.
He's making it hand over fist for him there, so they're not going to replace him.
Q-Ball 93, so because you're paying Hutch, you can't pay anyone else. Well, the numbers would suggest, if you look across any salary table, any team salary table in the NFL, there's basically room for 3 dudes. 3 of the $30-ish million. You got your quarterback, and then 1 to 2 other, like, $30 million guys in that neighborhood. You got, like, a $20 million a year guy, and then it's like the rest. It seems to be about 4 to 5 dudes that can get paid. Well, the problem is the Lions have their quarterback, then they have Hutch and Amon-Ra and Panay, and then we're starting to get to these secondary guys that haven't been extended yet. Somebody's going to be out. That's the math of the situation. Somebody is going to be out. So, like, you have to talk about those things. You just do. Just like I have to talk to you about Planet Fitness because we're live at the Planet Fitness Studios. It's the best gym in the gym game, guys. I've been a member there over 4 years. I'm not going anywhere. So, again, If you want to pay 80 or 90 or $100 a month to climb a rock wall, I'm not going to get in the way of that. You go do what makes you happy. For the rest of us in the real world, you can spend $24.99 a month and get access to over 2,600 gyms in the world and over 50 in Metro Detroit alone. There's a Planet Fitness near you right now where you're sitting. I know that because there's one that way, about 2 miles down the road, as a matter of fact. Tons of cardio equipment, tons of weight equipment. They got stretch zones, 30-minute circuit workouts. It's all there. Clean locker rooms, clean facilities, all of it. It's a perfect mix and match, everybody. PlanetFitness.com or just pull in the parking lot. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
You already know Loom Cannabis Company, but did you know that they've got all the brands you love now for less with unbeatable prices, a wider selection, and the best loyalty program? Loom is the premier destination for new and experienced shoppers alike. Experience Michigan's #1 recreational dispensary at one of their 38 locations. Use code WS1030 for 30% off your entire order online or in the store. Go to www.loom.com today.
All right, we're keeping it pushing. Back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, Spencer Raxter, Chase in the Chase Lounge, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Jason Kenyon in the super chat. No QB can drop back for a bomber that matches JMO's speed, except one that's comfortable with his line. 2 to 3 step drop back, and it's meeting JMO in stride. It took off a couple tries. Nobody else could, in my opinion. And Jason, thank you for bringing that to the forefront. When this whole discussion started, and anytime we've ever talked about Jameson Williams, especially on social media clips or anything like that, there's always, without fail, 3 to 4 guys that run that. Well, if Jared Goff could only get him the ball. Like, I get fatigued with that kind of dumb shit, D-Mac.
Yep, me too. That's it. Not even giving any more justice to it.
Terrell NFL brings up a good point. And this is where I wanted to go with it. My last angle with this. I saw the ranking. Bijan above Gibbs was effing stupid, though. Haven't heard anybody talk about that.
We crashed out on it yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry I missed it.
They went into it on Wake Up Woodward.
It's like Jahmyr Gibbs had more yards and more touchdowns in 60 less touches than Bijan last year.
Right.
But he's not as good.
And on a team where everybody has to eat.
Yeah, but he's not as good.
He's fine. What is the Bijan Robinson thing?
Bijan's good.
He's good. No, don't get me wrong. He's good. He ain't as good as Jahmyr Gibbs.
No, he's not.
But he's good.
But he's probably a top 5 back in the league already.
But he's been anointed in people's mind like he is one of them ones, which he ain't one of them Jahmyr Gibbs ones.
He's not as good as Jahmyr Gibbs, no. But like I said, I think he's already a top 5 back in the league. And that's extremely impressive. But Jahmyr Gibbs, I believe, is the best running back in the league. So
I don't know.
I mean, they're good, and it's opinion, and
I just saw a post,
different style. But you're right, Spenny. As far as value, it's like where's the respect? And I think a lot of times too, to me, Don't tell me what. Tell me who wrote it, because who are they watching?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's what it is. I looked at this list, and a lot of the reasons why he had the guys where he had them was because of their PFF grades or their PFF stats, not their physical provable stats and the tape. It is the numbers that PFF makes up.
The PFF propaganda.
So, yeah, they are used. The only reason this list is how it is because they are using their own stats to forge their own narratives, which is just absolutely irresponsible and stupid, I think. Because if you literally have a guy who has more all-purpose yards, more touchdowns, in 60 less touches than another guy, and he led the NFL in touchdowns, and you're telling me the other guy is better, you are stupid.
Well said.
Yeah.
I mean, what else is there to go by?
That's what it is. His logic on the Gibbs one was that he was 1 point lower than Bijan on their PFF grades, even though he had more yards and more touchdowns on 60 less touches.
PFF is the Jameson Williams of football
this same
media.
guy, I don't even know this guy's name. It's on the graphic somewhere. I looked for it on the article. PFF didn't even put it on the article because he probably would have got death threats. But his reasoning behind Kerby Joseph being at 25 was that Kerby Joseph didn't do enough in his first 2 years. That last year, him being
an All-Pro,
him being the first team All-Pro, the number one graded defensive back on PFF, the best coverage grade in the league, and the lowest quarterback rating allowed in the NFL when targeted, and leading the league in interceptions, wasn't enough to put him over 25 because of his first 2 seasons, which weren't bad. It's just he had a low PFF grade. But he put a rookie ahead of him who only had 9 starts.
That's like not grading Javi Baez on this season. You can bring up that it was, but if you're not going to say, and you're going to go through the ranks, you're going to say Javi Baez is the worst player in baseball.
Yeah.
And now he's the 5th worst player in baseball because of his last 3 years. Right? It's what have you done for me lately? It's more in, as you like to say, a bread box.
Yeah.
Of whatever else. And to me, this is the utmost disrespect. 25, like
stupid. It's stupid.
The stats you named, Spenny, in itself should put him, and if you want to argue, but top 12?
Top 5. He should be top 5
I'm saying
on
that
this
I'm trying to be PFF. I'm trying to do the balance and the stupidity that they are, and whoever did that. So even if he's 5 to 10, because you're not a huge fan, you cannot deny what he did against his peers.
Yeah, and like I said, you want to talk about he has to do it more. I have to see it more out of him. He's got to do it for longer. All right, I think it's a stupid argument, but okay, I would entertain. But when you put a rookie 1 spot ahead of him that only started 9 games in his rookie season, so he didn't have any games before that, that's asinine. And then when you have another rookie in the top 10 who only had 4.5 sacks last year. I understand the pressures. 4.5 sacks, you're telling me, is more important than 9 interceptions? I get off the train.
Yep, that's what they're telling you.
The reason they put Kerby Joseph so low was because his PFF grades his first 2 seasons. So they are using their made-up stats to fit their own narrative. It's literally the dumbest thing. I hate this guy. Whatever his name is, I hate you. And I will find you and spit in your face at some point in your life. You suck, dude. Shut up.
Better not see him in the streets of Royal Oak at 1:30 a.m.
Hell no.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Steve O'Baby. Steve Eiserman didn't give a damn about what player he was ranked, so why should Woodward Sports give a damn what PFF thinks? Steve O'Baby, because you guys do. You guys do. And that was going to be part of my question to the people. We get out of pocket about these lists.
Yeah. Oh, I love killing lists. I mean,
it's fun.
At least now we only have to do it for a month until training camp starts instead of 4 months.
And then it goes. No, But Steve-O, baby, like, that's why. Because you guys do. Look at the interaction, man. All across social media, look at the interaction of it all. Jason Kenyon in the Super Chat, screw PFF. Let's go by angry runs. Did Bijan get a staff? Sewell did. Monty and Gibbs did. I did twice. Correct me if I'm wrong. No,
Monty got 2, yes. Monty got 2, Gibbs got 1, Sewell got 1.
It's, in a weird way, D-Mac, Pro Football Focus has like this control over us about something that's totally made up by them, where they have guys. My understanding is PFF has a group of people that watch games, not even here in the United States, like it's in another country somewhere. They watch games and they rank players. Yes, Chase.
Yeah, my roommate's brother-in-law works for PFF. They just watch the games and then they just go on the computer.
Bring him in the studio.
And
I gotta talk to him.
He's from Minnesota, so
even better.
But yeah, they watch the games and then afterwards they have like an allotted time frame to go in. They have access to tape that's on a specific software, and they like break it down. They have to like do a bunch of like grading and stuff like that. So it is like,
tell him props to him, because whatever it is that they do, this magical hold that Pro Football Focus has over us, it works.
But
it works for them.
It's society, because it's almost like the gossip. It's almost like the TMZ or the of sports, right? Because it's so polarizing, because it's not like on the fence. It's so one way or the other, usually.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, and it's also something that we can all be in agreement of, right? The ridiculousness of how we see the game. But some people, that just goes to show you whether they're, I don't know if they're trolling or doing it for clicks or whatever, but somebody's figured out whatever that formula is to get the views.
Josh B, PFF equals a bunch of commies.
It's facts.
There you go.
Art Vandelay, PFF is the show The View for sports. A bunch of gaslighting ladies. Cartier, PFF is a crutch for casuals. No, Cartier, it's interesting you bring that up, because I've always said this about PFF. We will all crush PFF until it fits our narrative with somebody.
Yep.
Then we will run to PFF.
For sure.
And hold PFF up like Simba.
Yeah.
You know, like 100% we do it.
Number 1 graded PFF.
We run to that, Spenny.
Oh, for
You'll
sure.
do it this year.
Absolutely. I almost did it on this very list. Like praising Penei Sewell and Brian Branch's placement on this list. But I couldn't. I literally couldn't. I tried to do it. I really tried to do it, but I was like, I can't even be happy that Penei Sewell's ranked number 1 or Brian Branch is in the top 10 because of how stupid the other ones are.
Peaceful Tim, PFF must be trolling. Lions content pays the bills. Well, Peaceful Tim, there's a congruency to that, because PFF is basically like a knockoff of recruiting stuff, right? For college, is there like kind of similar vibes?
Yeah.
Who is the fan base that spends far and away the most money on rivals?
Michigan.
By far.
Yeah.
By far they do. So maybe you're right, Peaceful Tim. Maybe it's the area. What if you can get them both? Get the Michigan fans and the Lions fans. All right, rest in peace. When we come back here on a Rest in Peace Tuesday, tell them about the massage chair, Spenny.
I got it.
Oh,
Actually, looking to upgrade your relaxation game, check out that Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest, with top brands of massage chairs like Infinity and Osaki. Located near the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road, experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. Book a visit at www.massagechairhouse.com or scan the QR code. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, you know, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got Tully, everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Les Stanford Buick GMC has great offers for everyone. You can get a 2025 Envision Preferred all-wheel drive for only $259 per month, or try out the 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevation for only $169 per month. Don't forget about the 2025 Hummer EV SUV for only $699 per month. Get to Les Stanford today and check out their massive inventory at Les Stanford Buick GMC, lesstanford.com.
All right, keeping it pushing. Hour number 2, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, Chase in the sound booth. We have Spencer Raxter here.
D-Mac,
also.
did you see this over the weekend of the Tigers game?
Yeah. My guy.
What a legend.
I just left. No, I just left him.
Yeah.
You didn't see
You
me on
got-
camera. It was actually a Darren McCarty brand right there.
Yeah.
Sherb cream pie, Spenny. I think he was enjoying
the
it.
Sherb cream pie.
Absolutely.
Oy vey.
It is a Rest in Peace Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. Can I go first?
Well, easy, guy.
Sorry,
Yeah, let
okay.
me set it up. You are going to go first, by
Yeah.
the way, because you always
And
go
I'm taking
first.
the lowest hanging fruit. You fucking know I am.
Chase, you ready? Yeah, please. All right, here we go, everybody. It is Tuesday. You know it is time for Rest in Peace Tuesday. Who you putting in the sports coffin? Who you putting down? Spencer Raxter. Who you putting in the
Man,
sports
you
coffin?
know, this is tough for me to do because they have such good history. They're so good for the sport, and they have such a good fan base that really travels Fuck you, Toronto. Rest in peace to the Maple Leafs, baby. I guess we could just kind of put this one on standby every year.
Every year,
because
man.
we know it's going to happen.
We can bring them flowers.
Yeah, bring them the flowers. Like when Here Lies Squidward's Hopes and Dreams. Throw the flowers on the grave. That's Toronto every year, man. Rest in peace to the Maple Leafs. It was only a matter of time. But now, Neil, now it hits a little bit harder because it's rest in peace to the core 4 of the Toronto Maple Leafs, boys. Hope you guys got those cups when you wanted them. Oh, wait, you didn't? It's not when, it's how many, I thought, Toronto. Goodbye, good riddance, good day, sir. Goodbye, Toronto Maple Leafs, you bums. I said good day, sir.
That was a moving eulogy, Spenny.
Thank you.
You should consider becoming a man of the cloth.
I actually had, when I was an altar boy, I had this old lady at the church that was like, I'll be there for your coronation. She used to think I was destined to be all-star altar boy. Ordained, yeah.
You should become a man of the cloth. You absolutely should. So, well
Her name
said.
was Prudence, R.I.P.
I agree. Toronto, rest in peace. Chase! The mic,
There we go.
works better when you turn the mic on, Chase. Yeah.
Funny enough, I was at a baptism over the weekend, and I caught the last little bit of mass, and the priest was bragging about how they ordained like half of the new clergymen who are going out into the parishes.
Nice.
So yeah, I don't
I'm
remember
a knight of Columbus, no big deal.
But
Ready to pull my sword for the Lord's holy army.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
But for my rest in peace for this R.I.P. Tuesday, R.I.P. to Bari Mawasar in the zombie. You can't take down the gravedigger, baby.
Yeah. It's
Put
fast.
him in the tomb.
Shout out to
Buried
Tyler.
him. Tyler Meninga
The
puts
GOAT.
on a show in Pittsburgh, dominates racing, takes first place, dominates two-wheel skills, put on a sick sidewall donut, and then goes out, puts on a killer run in freestyle. Bari Mawasar puts on a slightly higher score, but it didn't matter. It was already wrapped up. So RIP to the zombie. You're already dead, but we're putting you back in the dirt, baby.
Double grave for the zombie.
Absolutely. Putting the tombstone on the ground.
D-Mac, you need to find something in your life. And I don't even think golf can compare for you. Look there goes the Toronto. There goes the Toronto. Rest in peace down Woodward right there. You see?
Rest in peace.
That is. Anyway, D-Mac, you don't love golf as much as Chase and Spencer love Gravedigger. You don't.
No, but I love weed that much. So I got something. Don't you worry about it.
Shout out Tyler. He's the GOAT. Close personal friend of mine, by the way. We talk on Instagram.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Right
Dude,
on.
yeah,
Oh.
Spenny's gotten a couple shout outs from the man.
Yeah.
So he's
He's
got
the GOAT. He is one of 4 monster truck drivers to be a 7-time series champion.
Yeah, 7-time champion, 3-time repeating Stadium Series East champion. Hasn't lost in the
Don't
Stadium
believe
Series
me.
East.
Believe the rest.
Believe
Yeah.
the numbers. Look at the numbers.
So is he the Tom Brady of monster truck?
He's the Patrick Mahomes of monster truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you got to give the Andersons the respect.
Yeah,
of
and
Tom
he's
Brady.
a young guy still. He's
Yeah,
still a young guy.
That was Bigfoot.
No, Dennis Anderson's the original Gravedigger.
Oh, the original, that's
The
right, I
Anderson
forgot.
So
family,
it's
they're
just
the first-
Gravedigger domination.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah.
on this Rest in
I mean,
Peace
he's got,
Tuesday.
You've got Ryan Anderson running around in the son of a digger. You've got Weston Anderson. You've got Kristen Anderson.
Yep.
Tyler Meninga. Like you're gonna have 4 different Gravediggers already locked in for the main event, July 4th weekend in Salt Lake City. But then you also have Matt Cody, who's another Gravedigger driver. He has a chance in the last
Man.
chance qualifier. Dude,
You know what? I'm starting to think it's the truck.
It's a monopoly, man.
I'm starting to think it's the
but
truck.
Tyler is one of the best drivers of Gravedigger ever.
He's got the most aura on the entire
definitely
series.
got the most aura.
That mustache, he looks like Magnum PI.
Yep.
Jason Kenyon in the super chat. R.I.P. Russell Westbrook.
And he likes Pantera, so he's cool in my book.
Jason Kenyon in the super chat. R.I.P. Russell Westbrook. Thanks for your contributions to OKC. We put belt to ass and ate them nugs. Rest in peace, Eddie Vedder. Sonics no more. The Thunder is alive. Of course, Jason's out there in Oklahoma. So rest in peace to Russell Westbrook. D-Mac, who you putting in the coffin?
Rest in peace.
It is the first time on a Rest in Peace Tuesday that I'm actually going to go with Spenny to this. Not that I don't go with it before, but we are officially putting it. Yes, exactly. We're officially putting it on the calendar. The Toronto Maple Leafs. I cannot, after years and years and years, what I grew up with and stuff like this, not put them in the coffin for the uttermost.
12 feet deep.
Dude, they're digging themselves, but I gotta say there's something in me that if they did succeed this year, that I would be happy for them. But there's also that something in me that was extremely happy for myself that they did not.
You were more
win.
happy for me. Right?
And I was happy for you.
Thank
So
you.
I will stick to the point that the only time I think the Toronto Maple Leafs now will have a chance is when my cousin Easton Cowan, who was playing for the London Knights in the OHL, their first rounder last year, will be on that lineup. So we have the blood
Okay.
in the lineup.
So that's when your perspective will change.
That's when my perspective will change.
And mine will probably
but-
change then too.
But let's sit back and see what happens in Toronto.
In
Which is
Toronto.
exciting in the offseason. So Toronto, bye-bye.
Woodward Sports chat thread, lots of reaction to the Saw situation. The dull spoon. Okay, too many grave diggers. It's like the Saw series.
Hey,
Which
I'm
is
just
pretty
saying,
funny.
Tyler's goated. He's got, I'll say it right now, he's got a better mustache than I do.
He does.
I got a one-on-one interview with him when they were in Detroit last time. He's the man. Cool guy. And he's goated.
His mustache is better than yours.
Yeah,
I'm
it is.
sorry to report.
No, it's okay. I saw a dude at the bar downtown the other day. I was at Second Best. Shout out. Just absolute stallion of a mustache walking in. I couldn't believe it. I was like, that's like, I'm like Squirtle. He's like Blastoise. Like, that was
game
impressive.
recognized game.
Yeah,
though,
it
Spenny, in
was-
the mustache game.
I kind of freeball it with the mustache. Like, I don't focus. Like, I'm not putting products or anything into it. Natural curl, by the way. You know, I'm just built different. But, yeah, it was an impressive mustache.
All right, I will wrap this thing up before we go to the break.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to the Baltimore Orioles.
Ooh, good one.
They are 15-31. They're in last place in the division. They are 12 games behind the Yankees, and it's over. The season is over. And I'll stand on this, Orioles. Remember last year, the Tarek Skubal stuff? And remember, there were reports.
Yep.
The Tigers were willing. Remember that?
They were listening to offers.
They were listening to offers, but they wanted the entire catalog of prospects. The Orioles said no. Look at you now. If you had that to do over again, would you do it now? Because Corbin Burns pieced out in the offseason, and here you stand, 15-31. You should have made the deal. Hey, Good luck with the prospects, Baltimore Orioles. Good luck. Hope it works out for you. Except it won't. It's over. And it never really got going in the end, did it? You just popped up once, and you were cute for a second, but it's all over. Back to the basement where you bums belong.
Oh.
Rest in peace, Baltimore Orioles. Cool logo.
Very cool logo.
Cool logo.
Shout
the
out
old
Cal
one.
Ripken.
Boy,
Yep.
have you seen their minor league affiliate? They've got I'll send it to Spencer. They have like the Oyster Bay Sox or whatever. They've got a wild alternate logo. I'm gonna find it real quick.
So good luck with those prospects, Baltimore. Haha, worked out well for you, didn't it? So yeah, that's it. All right, let's take the break. Tom Gores penned a letter to Detroit fans, and there's an exact paragraph of it that I want to discuss. I think Tom Gores is doing it better than anybody in this town.
I wouldn't say anybody. I think Sheila Ford Hamp's doing it better.
I'm talking about like
All right, just sent it in Slack, Spenny.
being out there,
This
being
is official.
transparent, all of it. We'll discuss it. We'll
Whoa,
discuss it.
dude,
when we come
one
back.
second. We gotta. There's
Okay.
no way.
Dude, that's official. Like they have it on shirts and hats and stuff.
I gotta
like that.
get this.
Okay,
hat.
who is this now?
The Oyster Bay Sox. They are like the Bay Sox oyster catchers. They've got a wild looking.
I gotta
logo.
get this on a hat.
I can only imagine what this looks like. There we go, everybody.
Oh, damn.
That's crazy,
That's
dude. That is an
elite.
official logo.
Yes.
I gotta get that on a hat.
I'm sure they have them.
I almost made it to the break. I almost got out of there. Now I'm thankful that we didn't, because now we can go to the break.
Yeah, that's impressive.
And I'm sure no one's going to talk about it in the chat. We'll just pretend it didn't happen. And there's no way Spenny's going to come back with it when we come back from the break. There's absolutely no way. I'm glad it's over. There's no way he's not going to fade it in. There's not. Please, somebody, please tell him about the socials.
All right, let me tell you about social media. If you want the best content in Detroit sports, all you got to do is follow Woodward Sports
The chat.
on all social platforms, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, Twitch. Make sure you're tapping in with Woodward Sports on every single social media platform. Woodward Sports is pumping out the best content in the city, so follow us at Woodward Sports everywhere.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce here every Tuesday on Big D Energy. He'll be in about 30 minutes, and Thursdays during Amon-Ra and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy I trusted for 4 Stanley Cups. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com. Call 248-426-9944.
Thanks for that, Chase.
Thank
Appreciate it.
Dude, thank your RIP. You were the one who
Back
unlocked
at
the
it.
memory.
Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, Show Record Chase, Spencer Raxter here.
I'm like you're like I'm like the key you fly, and every once in a while you're gonna hit electricity, Neil.
I know, and then you'll inspire the chat to give us stuff like this. Sound Kayak, they should change their name to the Clam Catcher.
Shout out.
Oyster
I like
and
it.
clams are not the same thing,
No,
right?
they're not.
No.
So how could they do that, Sound Kayak? Those are not the same things. The Dull Spoon. This logo's got me bricked.
The baseball mitt is hilarious as well. Mm-hmm.
Danny G.
Mitt.
The pearl on the top is just the icing on the cake. Go ahead, man.
It's a good day.
You guys go ahead.
I got to get a hat.
Yeah, I mean, hey, like I said, I completely forgot about this, Neil. This was your RIP when you started talking about the Orioles, and I was just like, oh yeah, this is a thing that's
It's true.
going
It's
on.
your fault, Neil.
Ant-Man 0313, the clam snatchers. A clam and an oyster are not the same thing.
It's true.
Be intelligent, everybody.
Both types of mollusk, correct?
I do believe that it's the clam that makes the pearl. I don't know if oysters make pearls.
Oysters do not make pearls. That's what makes it funny.
but it's a baseball.
And it's a baseball. Yeah. Yeah, clams make pearls. Oysters don't make pearls.
Yeah.
Jack Hoffman.
I think
I
it's one
can't
in-
find the pearl.
I think it's 1 in 10,000 clams. I think it's like 1 in 10,000 clams end up producing a pearl, roughly.
Is that what the math is?
I mean,
Spenny, do you care to comment?
Hey,
I haven't watched Planet Earth
I
in
know
a
my
while.
way around a pearl.
Jason Kenyon.
Circles. Small circles. So normally clockwise, you can go counterclockwise though, but small circles
God
gets the
damn.
job.
Just spell your name.
Gets the job.
Greatest
There you
thing
go.
you learned in,
CHA, like, they got a
greatest
lot of
thing you
swirling.
learned in school is your ABCs.
Yeah.
Do them backwards.
Do them backwards.
ZUIX.
You have to be drunk to do them backwards.
Jason Kenyon. Oyster Bayside, where men fight to eat the clam. Pearl diving for each other's pearls. Honey, hold your pearls. No, it's unhinged. Absolutely unhinged.
At least Anakin's 18 now, so we can have these kind of conversations with him.
Absolutely, we can. Brad's Burner, clap catchers. What does that have to do
Shout out.
with oysters?
It's the sound of the, when the ball hits your mitt.
Hey, nothing wrong with, would you rather have a great night or just take a shot of penicillin? Like, what,
You tell me, Spenny.
Just saying.
You've done it both ways.
You gotta weigh these things sometimes.
In the end, was the shot of penicillin worth it?
Oh yeah, dude, for sure.
Shout out Henrietta Lacks.
Anakin
That's
Skywalker.
listen, we have evolved as a species and as a society, and science has made it okay to go do that for a night because we have the cure for it.
Yeah, dude,
There
literally,
wouldn't be, if there was consequences that would last forever, you shouldn't do it.
Shout out Henrietta Lacks. Her cells
Shout out.
directly led to the creation of penicillin.
Shout out Henrietta.
There's an incredible book, The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks.
Tabitha Gable. Wow, I came in at the craziest time.
Shout out.
Let me know when you guys are done, man.
Clap is temporary. Championships are forever. That is 100% true. Like, you better believe if I was on that Western team, I would have been throwing it to anybody and everybody in that bar. Oh, what up, girl? All right.
You want to give this Bronco a ride?
Yeah, hell yeah. I would do that on a random Tuesday night in
You
East
know what we
Lansing.
used to call that, Spenny? Cup crazy.
Cup crazy.
Cup crazy.
Oh, man. There's no way to, transition
Well, you
from
gotta-
that either.
Come on, see how good you are. Segue into something.
Yep.
What does that segue into? But it's just, honestly, though, what a sick, the creativity of the minor league baseball teams.
They draw
Like,
potential.
the beach bombs here, the loons, all the different
Yeah,
things.
the whole alt logo thing has really exploded.
Well, that's like Spenny said. We've evolved in a lot of different ways in pop culture, and it's a part of it.
Yeah.
I was just at Motor City Comic Con over last weekend, and you see a lot of different logos.
Altoona, the minor league affiliate for the Pirates, they're doing a
the
Livy
Curve?
Dunn. Yeah, is that the Altoona Curve? Yeah,
Yeah.
they're going to be the Livies for a day.
Wait, the Curve is
Yeah.
doing a Livy Dunn day?
Yeah, they have you haven't seen that,
I
Spenny?
mean, you can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
Can't make
Sex
this
sells,
up.
baby.
Yeah, they're going to be the Altoona Livies for a day. I'll send that over
I'd
to
show
you.
Livy my curves.
Send it over. Hey, I'll wait.
I'm working on it, man.
Go ahead. Just never mind me, man. I'm just sitting here looking up at that Buddy's Pizza up on the wall right there. Hurricane. Avoid the clap, Jimmy Dugan. That's good advice.
That is good advice.
The Dull Spoon. Shout out Spenny.
Shout out.
No, I'm not reading that one. Only constructive stuff. All right. Joe. Oysters are a great natural aphrodisiac.
That
he
is
made
true,
that
too.
up.
No, that is true.
He made that up.
Nope, that's a fact.
How so?
They get you going, get the juices flowing. I don't know, something in them. Some kind of chemical that gets you all horny.
Eric Moy. I just noticed that the pearl is actually a baseball. Is it really?
It is.
You
Yeah,
pulled that back up?
you
It
didn't
is.
realize that?
I didn't realize
Yeah,
it.
it's a baseball. They got the seams on it. It's a little blurry.
It's kind of blurred out.
Yeah, a little blurry, but for copyright purposes, you can't. The baseball's copyrighted.
It is a baseball. Look,
It is baseball.
Absolutely.
It always was. What are you talking about?
Now, what color was the baseball mitt?
Orange.
That's true.
Orange. Orange, you glad? Come on, how good are you?
Ryan's Lions. Testing for the clap is worse than the cure.
Yes, absolutely.
Is that true?
Oh,
Can
yeah,
you walk
dude.
us through that, Spenny?
They take a fucking swab, Q-tip, and put it in your penis hole. That's how
No.
that's how they test for STD. It sucks. By far, getting tested is worse than the cure. Absolutely. That shit gives me shivers.
Ignorance
just
is
thinking
bliss,
about
folks. You just give that to me.
Cannot condone that.
it. That shit sucks. But everybody should do it. If you're sexually active, you should do it
Okay.
at least once every couple months.
Mikhail Dunlap, Tom Gores. Yes, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the break a few minutes early, and we're going to recalibrate. All right? And we're going to come back. I think that's what we're going to do. I'll start. I'll tell you about Caesars Sportsbook. I don't know if there's a line on the Bay Sox Oyster Catcher games, but if there is, you can scan the QR code on the screen above my head and use a promo code Woodward1000. Make your first deposit all the way up to $1,000, and then that way, when you make your first bet, if that first bet loses up to $1,000, you'll get it back as a free bonus bet. That's right, Caesar Sportsbook's offering you like a do-over. I don't know if the minor league games are on there or not. I doubt it, but maybe they are. I don't know. Maybe you want to get some money together so you can buy an oyster catcher hat like Spenny. Caesar Sportsbook's the move. Everybody scan the QR code on the screen. It's Caesars. They're one of the OGs of the sports betting game. The app is clean. It doesn't glitch out. And it's Caesars, man. They have all the markets out there. The payment's immediate. All of the good stuff applies with Caesars. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
All right, Woodward sports fans, whether you're hitting a game or simply just chilling, Jars Cannabis has you covered. Jars is home to Michigan's largest lineup of rec cannabis products. They've got 27 locations across the state, repping Michigan in a big way. 9 locations right in Metro Detroit, so there's always one nearby. If you go to the one in Hazel Park at 8 in DeQuinder, say hi to my boy G.
Shout out.
Shout out,
You're in
G.
Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, or Milan. Get ready. New stores are coming your way soon. Go find them. Darren McCarty brand at all jars. Go to jarscannabis.com to see where you can get your favorite product today.
I had a boy named G, and he lit a blunt in the cafeteria when he was in the lunch line and hit it and put it out on the wall. Everybody smelled it, and all the homeowners came and looked at our table. I was pissed. We got stereotyped.
Well, you know why things are known as stereotypes, right? Because they're typically true.
Yeah, but it wasn't. We were just sitting there eating lunch.
The one
Me
time.
and all the boys. I mean, we used to skip the hour before lunch, and then the hour after lunch, you go smoke a bunch of blunts, then come back to school. But don't do that, kids. Stay in school and don't do drugs.
So this time it wasn't you.
It was not us.
This time.
That time.
But yeah, we were talking about the minor league logos. The Fresno Grizzlies, they're known as the Fresno Tacos.
Nice.
From time to time, the Akron Rubber Ducks go by the Akron Cheese Salads.
What?
The New Hampshire Fisher Cats go by the New Hampshire Space Potatoes.
Wait, what the fuck is a cheese salad? Is that some Ohio shit?
The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp go by the Jacksonville Honey Drippers.
Hell yeah. Why are they all so horny, dude? What the fuck?
Winston-Salem Dash go by the Winston-Salem Hooch Pooches.
There's no way that minor league teams are
The
this
same
horny.
dude's naming all these teams.
Yeah.
The Wisconsin Timberland Rattlers go by the Wisconsin Frozen Pizzas, and their logo is an oven with arms with a spatula and a pizza in the other hand.
Oh, dude, can you send me that? I'm definitely gonna get that hat.
What
It's
is it,
actually
Neil?
pretty cool. The Wisconsin Frozen Pizzas,
Oh,
aka
they're
the
from
Wisconsin,
Wisconsin.
the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers.
Whose organization are they in? Does it say?
Give me a
It
quick
does not
second.
say.
I'll get you in just a minute, Spenny.
I know the Timber Rattlers. They're in the Whitecaps League,
Okay.
so I know that they're in there. The Space Potatoes.
The Whitecaps have a sweet logo.
So that's it. All right. I did want to talk about this, though. Tom Gores penned a letter to fans. And, Spenny, I know we have...
Got a little bit of it.
We got a little bit of it. And the letter was, along the lines of what you would think. Thanks for a tremendous season. We had a great turnaround, one of the greatest turnaround in NBA history. Fans have stuck by us, all that kind of stuff. And the part that really stuck out to me, Spenny, and I think it's something that has been kind of glossed over in the town a little bit, in the media, but this was the portion that really stuck out to me. He said, quote, "With the return to full strength next year and valuable experience under our belts, advancing in the playoffs will be the goal. I promise our urgency will not stop. Our players and coaching staff are focused on continuing our momentum. Trajan and his team will act with urgency to strengthen our roster. And I will continue to ensure this organization has the necessary resources to succeed. I will continue to ensure this organization has the necessary resources to continue to succeed." And D-Mac, look, you can feel any kind of way you want about Tom Gores as an owner. He came in, he bought the Pistons. You can talk about the Blake Griffin trade, but the Blake Griffin trade, if Red Wings fans are kind of any barometer of this, that's what he was kind of going after. I want to get us relevant. I want to get us to the playoffs. It worked.
Yep.
The move worked. It got him in the playoffs. Red Wings fans, I think there's a large segment of Red Wings fans that would take that right now. 100%. But the moral of the story here, D-Mac, is this. I've said this before. I said this 2 years ago. I've said this last year. If Tom Gores could write a check, if the NBA said, hey, write us this check, we'll make you the champion, he would have that pen snapped out and that checkbook out in a millisecond. There is no stone, I believe, that Tom Gores will leave unturned in order to have a championship organization. He showed us that. And I believe, D-Mac, as the Pistons kind of rise to prominence, the pieces are kind of coming together in that you got your 1-1, right? You won the draft lottery. You got Cade. Cade is that guy. You're an all-NBA guy. I don't think there's any dispute with that. D-Mac, that got me excited when I saw that. Because he will not hesitate, not for a second.
Because what you're hearing is, I don't care who it is, when any owner talks, do you believe what they're saying? And when it comes down to signing a check and his pen, Tom Gores' most powerful thing he's shown is his pen, right? And he will eat bad things. The biggest thing was him to get Monty Williams out of town, made a great hire in Trajan Langdon to keep this moving, and J.B. Bickerstaff. So everything that Tom Gores says in that statement, I believe. Right? And yeah, maybe there was questions about him as the owner when he came in and he tried to, a little too LA, a little too panache, but he got in with the culture. He listens to the fans. Like I see he hears the fans when they talk. And the fact is that's the luxury to have. He's not going to get in the way. It's almost like Ballmer in the Mets, right? Or having owners or whatever that Steinbrenner used to be. Mr. Illich used to be when they have the opportunity. So, yes, and now you look to it. So I believe what he says, and giving the guys that he's put in charge that have got us to this position, just giving them more assets, give them a bigger gun to fire. So I love it. He's on brand with it, and I know that whatever it takes, if it's a max contract, if it's Giannis, if it's whoever else, if that's what to get us to the next level, he's willing to do his part.
And IT Hips in the chat says they're definitely making a move. And IT Hips, like, I don't know about that. Is there a move to make?
I don't think they're going to make one this summer.
What's the plan? What's the plan? And IT Hips, but here's where I'll meet you halfway across the sky. I know that if there is a move to make, the man in charge will not hesitate. Not for a second.
I agree with that 100%. I've said it multiple times. If Tom Gores owned the Tigers, we'd have a World Series for sure. Like, we'd have Juan Soto. I mean, he's not doing so hot this year, but they definitely would have signed Juan Soto. Like, he throws money at things when money needs to be thrown at things. And
this is coming from you, Spenny.
Yeah, I hated on Tom Gores.
Confirmed, not a Tom Gores guy.
For sure. He gained a lot of respect from me when he sacked up and said, all right, I'm biting the bullet on Monty Williams. It had to be done. Everybody knew it had to be done. And he went out there and did it. And he cost him $70 million. And then we just had one of the best seasons of Detroit basketball since I was a child.
Flair vs. Savage. Gee, an open letter that will help get us over the hump. Yeah, because a letter is going to go get you Zion or go get you Devin Booker. It's what it represents, Flair vs. Savage. What other owner in town puts pen to paper on that? For real. What other owner in town does that?
Sheila does as well. But that's about it.
That got me excited, man. Like,
it's good to hear. And now that, like, he got the guys in here that know what they're doing too. Like, Trajan obviously knows what he's doing. He got these guys, and those were not the moves that we've seen this franchise make in the past. Like the Malik Beasley signing, Tim Hardaway Jr., those kind of moves, those were not the moves that we've seen former GMs kind of be coerced into. We know that was the thing. It was, you're going to go get this guy, you go get that guy, and stuff like that. Now it's your GM making the best basketball moves for this team, and we saw after one summer that resulted in the greatest turnaround in the history of the NBA.
This, like, with the Pistons, and we always do this in this town, right, D-Mac? We always go back to the 04 Pistons, or always go back to the Bad Boys. I would say that the level of excitement with Pistons basketball, I would include ownership with that, with their willingness to do stuff, because the owner told you, like, put it out there and told you that. This is as exciting as it's been for the Pistons in over 2 decades. For real. For real. And Joe Dumars catches a ton of strays in this town for some stupid reason that I'll never understand. I'll never understand it. But that last championship that was here, he put that together pretty much exclusively through trades. He authored that. He did all of it. I would say now, D-Mac, over 2 decades later, that this is as exciting of a time for Pistons basketball. Now, the flip side of that coin, D-Mac, and we talked about this a lot, we had fun this last run, right? It was out of nowhere. It was organic. There were no costs to it, anything like that. But with that being said, on the other side of this is the expectations.
Not to the expectations we put on the Lions, but 2 years ago was a free roll. And then last year wasn't.
I think it's consistent with the time frame of the sport, right?
Yeah.
Like, the NFL is built for you to kind of rebuild this thing on the fly.
But you get a free roll where it's like you get excited and everything's a bonus, right? Where everything's a bonus. We were hoping that this year was the Wings opportunity for that, right? Where it looks like more so even to next year. But again, because more expectations will be placed on this team. Right now, going into the season, you're not predicting, can they win more than 14 games? You're saying, can they win 45? Can they win 50 games? Is this what this team is built up? They've done it to themselves, but this is what we've always wanted them to do.
Yep.
So,
and or do you want? I have some breaking news before we go to break. It's not on the Pistons. It's about the Tigers.
Is it?
Yeah.
You want to take the break and come back to it? Real quick, let me get to a couple of these messages. Chuck, he's empowered the front office to do what's needed to be done, but I think he now understands to put smart people in place. Also in the Woodward Sports chat thread, and Cartier says maybe Sabonis, Trae Young, Zach LaVine, maybe Booker, maybe no one. No one knows. Also, too, in the chat, Tom is going to make a move on the Pearl. Okay, all right. This is a good point to get out.
Shout
everybody. You knew it was always going to come back to that because it always does come back to that. And just like, hey, at Woodward Sports, this is going to be a lot of fun throughout the summer. The heavyweights will be involved, but it's the White Claw Tigers Tour. That's right. Woodward Sports Network is rolling across town to some of the iconic bars in the Detroit area. And you can join us for the White Claw Tigers Watch Party. Woodward Sports for the top bars to watch a Tigers game live on the network. Join the Woodward Heavyweights as they hit McShane's Pub, Nemo's Bar, Second Best, and Old Miami. Be a part of the fun. See the reactions live on Woodward Sports Network to one of the best teams in baseball. Spencer and Easy, Friday, May 23rd, the first watch party at McShane's Irish Pub in Corktown. It's the White Claw Watch Party, brought to you by Easttown Distributors and our good friends at Ben Johnson Law.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
All right, back at it. Big D Energy, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, Chase here as well, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Ryan, I'm sure PFF has Gravedigger just outside the top 10.
Yeah, probably.
Well, it depends on what their narrative is.
Yeah.
But yeah, jump into that Woodward Sports chat thread. You want to skip the line, use the Woodward Sports Super Chat. You can do that as well. Spencer, you teased some breaking news.
Yeah.
What do we have?
So, some breaking Tigers news, and this is per Pat Caputo on Twitter. So, Pat Caputo says, well, here's a guy that I really like that... No. But seriously, per Pat Caputo...
Is he going to a 78-year-old caller?
You know, when you look at the Whitecaps roster here... No. Seriously, per Pat Caputo, he says, Jake Rogers will be catching tonight versus the Cardinals, and Parker Meadows is starting his rehab assignment at Toledo tonight, per AJ Hinch on MLB Radio.
Okay, so... the wheels are in motion.
Shout out to Neto. Neto, he came up here and he did what you need a third catcher to do. He got some timely hits. Yeah. Didn't make any blunders behind the plate. He held it down for Jake Rogers being absent. So shout out to Neto.
Lockdown bullpen arm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Wasn't his run.
Was not his run.
With the Cardinals swinging at every single... I did see it on social media, though, D-Mac. People were like, Neto can pitch, perhaps. Like, no, guys,
come on.
There was a tornado coming through. They swung at every pitch they wanted out. Everyone wanted out.
Everybody wanted out.
Yeah, like that was it. John effing Lord, breaking news with Broadcaster 6. But damn, D-Mac, those pitching injuries, man. Damn. You know?
It's always gonna
be something.
It's more so that availability and stuff like this. But like, this is why you gotta love this team. They're facing this sort of adversity, and what are they gonna do? So hopefully, this lineup can excuse me, carry the pitching through now. Excuse me.
It's got you choked up, D-Mac.
You know what? Happy my boy Jake's back.
Shout out.
Jake Rogers.
Jake Rogers back. Have we heard anything on Vierling?
Vierling, I mean, I'd assume he's going to be playing with the Tigers very soon because he's like He did his stuff in Toledo.
Yeah, originally I heard St. Louis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was the expectation.
Right.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Okay.
I would expect him in the lineup in the next couple of games. Sonny Gray does still have it, Joe. He was dealing.
Sonny Gray's good.
Yeah.
Cardinals got it rolling a little bit also.
That's a fantastic ballpark.
Yeah.
I haven't been there yet. I got to go there.
Spent a weekend series, Cardinals, Yankees 2 years ago.
Oh, wow, high level.
Yeah,
they sell out like every game
they
too.
do.
Don't they?
Yeah, it was. I ended up going down there. It was Joe Torre bobblehead night, and that was one of the nights. But the Sunday matinee, I snuck my way down, sat row 22 right behind home plate with an incredible view of Aaron Judge and
Was Yachty still catching?
Yeah, it was actually. I went down there
dude.
because it was Yachty and Poole's final season. I wanted to watch them before they retired.
That's dope.
So I almost lined it up and saw Albert Pujols' 700th career home run. But he hit it like 4 games before.
Oh damn!
In LA, I had tickets to go to.
Yeah,
Milwaukee.
when they were throwing Albert Pujols meatballs for the whole second half of the season.
They were.
Oh, let's put one 92 right down the middle every other pitch. But yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, I mean, how many other 700 home runner hitters are we going to see in our lifetime?
Not many, probably.
Exactly. So I hated him for the longest time because of 06, but eventually I just put the emotions aside and respect. Tip of the cap to. Yeah, tip of the cap. So,
D-Mac, what's your favorite park you've been to that's not Detroit?
I think Petco. I think
I gotta
San
get there.
Diego.
I really want to go there.
It's great. That to me reminded me of like watching a ball game at a park. You know what I mean? Like a picnic.
Yeah.
Like it was just cool, and the weather, like it's so cool out there and stuff like that. But the way the way their center field, like general admission with the dogs and shit, like, it was really cool.
I want to go to Oracle really bad too. See them get put out in the maybe even chill in a kayak for a game.
And if you haven't gone, if you're based and you haven't gone to Yankee Stadium, Fenway Park or Wrigley Field, those are musts.
I've got PNC penciled in for July 27th.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're doing the Mac Miller bobblehead giveaway that night. So
nice.
A few of our buddies, we already locked it in. We're driving down, heading to the game, getting the bobblehead, coming back.
Nice.
It was funny. I looked it up. The Padres' last rainout occurred on August 20th of last year because of Tropical Storm Hillary. Prior to that, the last Padres rainout was 2006, which is pretty crazy. PNC Park's legit, man. They got the little strip of bars and stuff like that.
City of Bridges, they got like over 27. It's beautiful over there.
You'll have a great time, man. A great time.
Appreciate it.
Believe it or not, like I like the Rogers Center, man.
Yeah,
I do. Like I know it's a dome and stuff like that, but downtown Toronto, like Toronto's bumping, all that kind of stuff.
Target Center looks nice.
Yeah, I haven't been there.
Is it still called the Target Center?
You're talking about where the Twins play? Yeah, I think it's Target Field.
That looks nice.
Let's take a break because Doc's in the house. So
okay,
we'll get him situated, and we'll come back. Where are we going with this, Spenny?
Tell us about merch.
That's right. Shop.woodwardsports.com. The very best in Detroit. Sports wearables, better than anywhere else. Notice some other organizations around there in the sports media landscape trying to copy the flow, but they can't because Shop.Woodward is elite, everybody. All new shirt designs in there, so scoop up your Detroit sports wearable. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
All right, back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Our guy, Dr. Pierce, here in the building. Our injury insider joins us every Tuesday. There's been some parking issues in downtown Birmingham.
That's right.
Here today. Doc had to fight those, but he is a good sport. He is here as well. Doc, how are you, man? I know you were working at Ford Field on Sunday night, huh?
Yeah. I mean, well, actually, I wasn't working. They have their own medical team now.
Oh, they do?
So for this one, I wasn't needed in person, but I was there.
But you were there.
Yeah. No, it was an amazing night. I think I'll keep my comments to myself. Post Malone, I've seen Post Malone as he's risen, and he's an unbelievable entertainer.
Yes.
As far as his messaging, it's changing. Or I don't know if it changes as he feels certain things.
Well, I would say, Doc, it probably changes as the sponsorships change.
Well, they are. I mean, I'll give him credit. It's his first stadium show. People don't know the difference between. Do you know the difference?
No, I don't. Stadium and the arena stuff. I've always wondered, why is this such a big deal?
There's
what difference
amphitheaters. But it's huge because this is his first stadium.
Right.
So that's huge. So you're at a whole different level. So someone goes, well, who makes those decisions? It's a business decision. I mean, it's not like, hey, I want to do a stadium. Well, you can't fill a stadium.
Right. You got to be number one requirement. You got to be able to fill a stadium.
Right. You got to be able to fill it, and then with it, you got to have backers like Live Nation, AEG, all the big boys. They're the ones who kind of make that decision, but they're making a reasonable decision. Would you rather perform in a stadium that's 2/3 full or an arena that's full?
What's going to make me more money?
The arena that's full, typically.
Then I'll do the arena that's full.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm a bad person to ask, though. I'm upfront about that.
So it's
D-Mac, what would you rather do? You're a man of principle.
Yeah, I'd rather do arena shows. Sound's always better. Stadium shows, you lose the environment or the ambiance.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's not as intimate.
It's all about shoving people in there. So if you're about the fan, I'll tell you this, man. Like LCA, what a great entertainment facility. Like Tool was the best concert I saw last year there, and the sound was unbelievable. And as good as Tool is, or the best bands are, the open air and stuff like that. That's just like a festival, yes, because you're prepared for it. But if you're going to listen to the music, no. And a lot of times too, right, Doc? It's like, it's what's your flavor of who's speaking the message that you want to listen to.
Right. Like there's certain people that fit for Meadowbrook. There's certain people that fit for Pine Knob. The stadium shows, I will go back. Palace was an unbelievable place.
Yeah, I saw Bruce Springsteen.
The Palace was probably the best venue. They won awards year after year. Little Caesars was made more for the sporting event, the way it comes in. It's still good. Stadiums, I will say, back in the day, and I've been doing this since 2000, they were tough. They were tough to feel. But like Kenny Chesney, one of the first guys who kind of made that stadium feel more together. YouTube was probably the first one with theirs. Yeah. But the technology and making you feel enclosed.
Well, you have to work, right? Like when you have a stadium stage, to keep everybody engaged, like you have to work.
You're
like,
running
physically.
Up and down.
Yeah, like
you're
it
sweating.
Is. No doubt.
Jelly Roll's lost weight just by performing.
Oh yeah, he looks great.
John effing Lord, real quick in the chat, Doc. We want the sauce. We want the sauce. We want the sauce. So people want the secret sauce, Doc.
It's true, but it's secret. So you gotta show up to Sports and Spine to actually get the first-hand stuff. But the thing is to flip over, and we're transitioning to sports. You heard about Gordon and his hamstring.
Yes.
And that they announced that morning that he's not playing, right?
Yes.
And then he played.
That was brought to you by the secret sauce, right?
There's something that has to happen. First of all, I think it was bad media. Why did it's usually they're not that far off on a pivotal game like that, even though they got blown out, and you can lead into your off-season lead in there. But like I said, like Curry, I was surprised didn't play either. These are hamstrings, unless it's being torn off the bone. And maybe we'll bring some anatomy next time.
Okay.
But tearing off the bone is like, yeah, you can't do that. But a mid-belly. Like the hamstrings have big muscle from your buttocks, not ass, buttocks down to your knee, where you have a lot of muscle. There's a lot of structure there. There's a lot of structure that can overtake, right? You can compensate. You wrap it, you brace it, you secret sauce it, and you play. That's why I was surprised with Curry. Like, did he not feel
mentally, because you've talked about that a lot, like the mental angle.
If we're not going to win this, why am I putting my hamstring on the line?
Right.
Gordon felt.
Well, you've talked about it.
Game 7.
Yeah, you've talked about it too, though. Before that's individualistic. Like, is the guy equipped to be able to be in that spot of I'm not right here, I got to find a way.
Yeah, and Curry in all his career was that. I mean, I'm not calling him out or anything, but I like to see the.
Did he make a business decision?
Did he make a decision? I don't know if we can win with or without me. Me at 75% isn't going to make a difference because we're not playing. I don't know. Where Gordon was, Game 7, we putting everything out. We got a joke. We got a team that can win, and then they got blown out. But
they won after the first quarter.
There's also something I believe with like you're going to lay out this is what could happen and going for it. And I think that in this case, too, a lot of the determining factor is they've already got chips.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you don't have chips, you're willing, like, and I mean by championships.
You're willing to die.
They already, so it might be more of a dollar decision because you've already got those. That sort of comes into it, too. And what it's telling me is that it would hurt more in the long run. Right, so if he tried it and played with it, and you got to remember Steph Curry too. He's not that he's slight for an NBA guy, so a little bit. Not saying he's not tough or whatever, but he's not a big bruising guy.
No,
so
he's the finesse guy on the outside.
That's what it is. So you got to prepare.
You know, the secret sauce, things like that. We do have a lot of things going on. You know, I just talked to one of my colleagues out in Utah. You know, our field alone, PM&R, physical medicine, rehabilitation, new techniques are coming out. New stuff's coming out. The biologics are coming out. The old medical terminology we're passing it. You know, like AI's here. It's going to be here. The peptide, the biologics, I can't say so. I can say whatever the heck I want.
You can,
you can.
You know, the peptides, the stem cells, the exosomes, stuff we're doing, we're uncovering from the body's natural healing, which is the best. You know, the rainforest, these herbs came from the rainforest. These are self-healing. You know, they put a salve on me and my gushing wound healed in 2 days. But that's the stuff that we're learning from. And because of AI, because of technology, because of these biochemists, we're advancing way quicker. We're going to do things in the next 2 years that we haven't done in 20 years. And is the FDA aboard? You know, I don't want to get political.
Oh, no, yeah, Doc. We don't want to go there.
But the FDA is getting pressure from the current people to advance stuff quickly. So I think, like, what I try to do is being cutting edge. People make fun of me, cutting edge, I'm still this old. But you need to start going, am I going to do this?
Yes, probably.
My medical people, like for insurance, they're a hindrance to the advancements of what we need to do.
Yeah, we've covered that before.
They are the grouping of 75% of the people is satisfactory to these insurance companies, okay? Which isn't going to do it. We're not going to be cutting edge. We're not going to have the kid back out there. I'm talking about kids playing lacrosse. Mm-hmm. You know, their medical is like holding them back. There's kids like I have to do a shout out to my son. He won MVP of the year.
Shout out
for lacrosse. And the coach says, this kid's played through a lot of injuries. And he winks over to us, meaning your dads can keep you on the field versus a few other kids that were out for the season. It's what you know. It's who you know. I don't want you challenging doctors, but you need to know what the motivation is.
You can ask questions.
You ask questions, but the thing is, some of these skill set doctors that are agreeing to what the insurance is dictating, it's not the doctor you want to go to. You want the doctor that's going to fight for you. You want the doctor that's going to do what's right for you. And believe me, I'm getting tired of it too. They're wearing you down. They do wear you down.
You got to stay in the fight, Doc. Hey, we got a question for you here in the super chat.
I'm just rapping.
At Great Lakes 24, question for you, Doc. What's your stance on foot strike pattern while running and reducing risk for stress fractures and injuries?
So that covers a lot of different things. The stress fractures should never happen. Stress fractures, there's a medical, or you're running on poor surfaces, or your running shoes are not good. When you talk about foot strike, you're talking about heel. You hit heel first. You hit heel, and then you roll the outside of your foot, and then you come to the foot, and then you push off. That's a proper way of running. You don't foot slap. You don't invert. A foot slap is when, like I used to make fun of Drapes. Remember I made fun of Drapes when he would do the ladder work, and you could hear him. He's just boom, 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 boom. You got to be lighter. So what that means is there's certain muscles that hit the ground and certain muscles that you don't leave your foot on the ground. So it's the muscles moving back and forth. To address the stress fractures shouldn't happen unless you're doing something wrong. Average running, unless you're putting in, usually my stress fractures happen in my females because of, how do you say it? They're not healthy. They're running so much, their bone structure gets weakened, their period, everything kind of changes on them. With guys, you should have enough structure to the bone. Anatomically, there could be just a overlying problem, but stress fractures are not normal with runners. So, and what was the third thing he asked?
It was, let me see here. No, just your stance on foot strike pattern while running and reducing risk for stress fractures and injuries.
Proper running shoes. The development of the shoes and the science behind it is no joke. It's helpful. Everything's there. The only negative on that, which I always try to be glass half full, the negative is that your foot could actually become weaker, because I think you should still spend time running barefoot in the sand, doing barefoot exercises, things like that, because the actual small muscles in your foot are being taken, it's like you're wearing a boot with some of these shoes. So it can actually weaken the actual foot. So you have to maintain strength in the foot, because if you do get an awkward or you wear a shoe too long, you can put more pressures on that foot eventually.
Doc, I had a quick one for you. Spenny, I don't know, do we have the video?
Yep.
The Jokic video. This is funny. It's funny, but it leads into a serious question. We were talking about the Nuggets in their Game 7, Nikola Jokic. A reporter asked him, so what's the plans right now? What are you going to do next?
We will see, But from now, next couple of days, there's going to be a lot of beer, probably.
We will see, but for the next couple of days, it'll be a lot of beer, probably. Doc, which leads me to a question, and this is serious too. And I think this is where everybody can kind of Jokic is doing it. It's funny stuff like that. I take 2 weeks a year where I don't go to the gym.
Okay.
2 weeks a year.
Which 2 weeks? The same 2 weeks?
Between Christmas and New Year's.
All right.
Typically, and then a week sometime in the summer. Whatever the schedule allows for.
Okay.
If you for Jokic, who's a world-class athlete that says, it's going to be a lot of beer for the next couple weeks, when do you cross that line? When you say, all right, I'm enjoying my work, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling myself. I'm going to cut loose. I'm going to have 3 or 4 beers a day for the next couple days. I'm going to cut loose and have some chicken wings and stuff like that. It's okay to do but what's the line, Doc? What's the line for Jokic or an NBA guy like that when you get to the offseason?
Well, what's he weigh? About 300, 280?
About
Probably,
280.
yeah.
Yeah, about 280.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's got a lot of leadway. I'm sure it's going to be more than 3 beers in that day.
But you know what I mean.
Maybe 3 cases. It's funny. It's not. There's no rule. It's what they're used to, what their culture is, where they came from.
What about for us, the normal people who aren't burning?
You're not allowed to have any time off. There's no time off here. The thing is it's like you say, when you come back, like you described yourself as, I take a week off or 2 weeks off. We can go decades, right? So if you do that in your 20s, you pop back. Like for me personally, in my 20s, I take a couple weeks off. You know, my arm. Oh, okay. 2 days later, after working out, you bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now decades later. If I take 2 weeks off, I need a month to recover. So the rule typically is for every day you're taking off, you need 4 days to catch back up.
Okay.
So that's typically the rule. The longer you get out of your routine, the harder it's going to be. The decades of life are going to add to it. So there's truth to all that aging process, where age is just in your head. No, it's physically, it's collagens, it's elasticity, it's your heart, it's all your recovery. You want to, there's no, like for these guys, like, look, when they won the cup, there was a lot of beer, being, and they didn't, they did it for 3 months. It was golf.
No, but you usually so for us in championships or playoff, you're finishing in June, right? So the end of the month is like the month of June is party.
Yeah.
And then into July, the guys start to work out. You probably take a week off, but you're still doing stuff.
Yeah.
You're playing.
So you never stop.
No, not really.
There's guys that never stop. There's guys that shut down. Like football. There's guys in football that shut down.
Yeah.
And there's guys in football that are like, they all have their secret little places to go. Wherever there is their mental space, their head space, their recovery space. Look at Curry. I mean, what's he going to do? He's going to work on his hamstring. He's going to work on his flexibility. He's going to play golf. But he has a routine. Look at Kobe. Look at Michael Jordan was natural. Like, I lived in Chicago during those championships. And we had doctors that took care of him. And he wasn't the typical. He was atypical. He wasn't working out. Like LeBron works out. Kobe worked out. Michael had it was like a different mental workout. It was different. Like he was like LeBron doesn't get enough credit. 40 now? He does not get enough credit on how hard he works off the court, let alone on the court. I mean, we were in China. We were in Macau, right? First tournament, it was LeBron against Dwight Howard, right? And I sat there with a lot of legends in the second row watching them warm up, hearing that boy's got to get a shot. That boy's got to get a shot. He's got to work on his shot.
He did.
And he did it. I mean, he can do anything. So you got, like these guys said, I mean, they enjoyed it, right? There was a positive. They were coming off of wins. It's hard. It's easier to get back on that horse. So there's no simple question what they do in the off season, how responsible they are, how mature they are, how they want to be better the next season. Like I saw something on JJ from Minnesota, the Michigan kid.
JJ McCarthy.
Yeah. Did you see that piece where this kid is working the defense? He wants to work every second of every day to get better. So he's taking a page out of Brady's book, and they go, this kid's good. Like, because of his want and his desire, he doesn't want to just know what the offense is doing. He wants to know how to read defenses. Tell me how to read the defenses better. I mean, that's going over and above, right? So as opposed to like Post Malone and Jelly Roll talking about the losers and celebrating the losers, I had to throw it in here.
No, we appreciate it, Doc. As always, thank you very much for the time. Coach Gump, I saw you want to call in tomorrow, man. I got you. All right, we'll get to whatever you want to get to tomorrow. All right, Coach Gump. So for Dr. Pierce, for D-Mac, for Chase, Spencer Raxter, thanks for tapping in. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.